On Monday of last week, Emile Beauvais, the acting deputy attorney general, who you may remember as Trump's defense attorney in the hush money case, ordered federal prosecutors in Manhattan to drop Adams' case based on the argument that his bribery trial would interfere with his efforts to help carry out Trump's mass deportations in New York. The prosecutors refused, and on Wednesday, the acting U.S. attorney at SDNY, a Trump appointee who clerked for Antonin Scalia, resigned. A number of her colleagues then resigned as well, including the lead prosecutor on the case, who wrote in his resignation letter that the move was an illegal effort to influence Adams and, quote, "I expect you will eventually find someone who is enough of a fool or enough of a coward to file your motion, but it was never going to be me." On Friday night, Beauvais gathered the attorneys from DOJ's Public Integrity Unit and gave them 1 hour to figure out who would sign the dismissal motion or that they would all be fired. Eventually, one senior attorney agreed to do it to spare his colleagues. A few hours before we recorded, 4 of Adams' remaining staffers resigned in protest. And in case the quid pro quo between the Trump administration and Adams wasn't clear, here's a clip of border czar Tom Homan on Fox and Friends sitting next to Adams in a joint interview.
If he doesn't come through, I'll be back in New York City, and we won't be sitting on the couch. I'll be in his office, up his butt, saying, where the hell is the agreement we came to?
What do you think? Would you say it's good for democracy that the President of the United States essentially owns the mayor of our largest city?
It's a real bold move to shake down the DOJ Public Integrity Unit. You know, 4 New York City deputy mayors are resigning. In the short term, that is going to severely impact the management of the biggest city in the country. I mean, there's 8 total deputy mayors. 4 of them are now gone. So it's like a disaster for New York City, like one on top of the other.
You would think that the resignation of those 4 deputies to Adams would put more pressure on Governor Kathy Hochul, who, by the way, has the authority to remove Eric Adams.
Yes.
And the fact that she hasn't yet is baffling to me. I will say, though, when we were just talking about collective action problems and people being afraid to step up, Danielle Sassoon, who was the prosecutor that was running SDNY that resigned, and then Hagen Scotton. If that name doesn't sound like a conservative to you, This guy graduated top of his class, Harvard Law, won 2 Bronze Stars in Iraq, and clerked for not just Roberts, but Kavanaugh. Those 2 stepping up, I'd like to see a little more of that from some people, who are Republicans in Congress who just aren't doing anything.
This is an area where I agree with you. I'd like to see Republicans doing more, but I think Democrats do have some power here. Hochul should remove Adams. There's a scenario here where this is such an overreach that it weakens Trump. And I think Democrats in New York have to help us get to that.